Yet another bombshell in the Casey Anthony murder trial. Casey's mother, Cindy, took the stand and testified that she, not Casey, used the family's computer to search for the uses of chloroform.
I recall typing in the word chloroform.
Do you recall denying that you searched for self-defense?
Yes, I did not search for self-defense.
Household weapons?
I did not search for household weapons.
Neck breaking?
I did not search for neck breaking.
With Cindy just covering for her daughter, Fox News legal analyst Peter Johnson Jr. has been following the case for weeks now. Good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Well,
what do you think?
There's a Jewish proverb that was adopted by Rudyard Kipling that basically says that God couldn't be everywhere, so he invented mothers. The question is that what's being exhibited here? Are a mother's bonds and a mother's loyalty to her child greater than the oath of a witness sworn to tell the truth? When you see this at first, it really strains credibility and credulity. But at the same time, it pokes an enormous hole in the prosecution's case when the mother comes in and says, no, I was looking at chloroform, I was looking at inhalation, I was even looking at neck breaking with regard to an accident that had been suffered by some folks that I know. So it's very dramatic testimony.
Yeah, she said for some of the terms that the prosecution had brought up, she had no idea who was Googling those or searching those. But for chloroform, she said that her dog was lethargic, essentially, so she had looked up what possibly could be causing
She was concerned
about
the dog eating plant matter.
Right. Will the jury believe her? Is that as an essential part of this?
Well, that's an absolutely essential part. And she also testified, well, I was at home. But then there were work records that showed her as a nurse actually being at work at that time. And so she said, well, no, we had some family occasions, so I was home. So as strident and as tough as the prosecutor got in cross-examination, she got equally as tough. And so the jury has to know whether, in fact, is she telling the truth, or is she merely trying to ensure that her daughter does not get the death penalty in this case?
Yeah, and one of the most bizarre aspects of this case has been the family dynamic. And the question now is the defense working at all with the family, or is there a complete divide there? Cindy Anthony's lawyer actually weighed in on that. Take a listen.
Prior to about 9 weeks ago, there was a relationship because Mr. Baez was the only link they had to their daughter. And since then, that link has been severed, so the relationship is tenuous at best. My clients are not doing anything to block what Mr. Baez is doing for his client, and certainly have not tried to stonewall him in any way.
There have been allegations of child abuse and everything else in this case. Is this a critical part of the case, the dynamic, the family dynamic?
Sure, it's a critical part, and let's just be realistic, and let's just live our lives kind of hat here. Would a mother lie to save her child? Would a father lie to save her child from execution? That's a critical issue that we have to examine in this case. And the credibility of the witnesses will be judged by that standard. I think we know the answer in our hearts and our souls about what people will do in that type of situation. And so, that being said, is she being truthful or not? We're going to be talking about all of these issues tomorrow, really wall to wall here on the Fox News Channel.
The coverage continues.
With an all-star panel all day, because the trial is on tomorrow, and so we'll be covering the whole thing. I'll be there with a bunch of the great legal experts.
Yeah, they don't break
here.
on Saturday. Thank you so much,
Good
Peter Johnson Jr. Great to see you. We'll be watching on Saturday, of course.
Terrific.